Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Executive's Diary, a podcast by the dreamers for the dreamers, where we talk about the untold stories beyond that corner office. And today's episode is super duper special. Guess why? I am in India right now, yes, with a brand new season, a brand new studio, and a brand new energy. And you remember I told you that I would be bringing some really good guests here on the podcast show? Because who doesn't like more motivational or inspirational things or practical tips on how to scale a business, right? So, yes, here we have today Bilal Azam with us. Kindly welcome Bilal Azam. Hi, Bilal.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
I'm fine. How do I look?
You look good. You look really
Except
good.
for my eye.
Your eye also doesn't look that bad.
Hmm?
Just saying, yeah.
Even my wife says that.
Oh, that's awesome. By the way, congratulations for getting married.
Yeah, even I don't believe it yet. I got married all of a sudden.
It was sudden, right?
Yeah. So things happens very quickly in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that very well.
I know that very well.
Yeah.
Well, things happening suddenly or in a flash are always good, isn't it?
Sometimes yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes yes.
Oh, yes, that's the charm that Bilal has. Let me say a few words about him because he's the modest guy, so I'll have to brag about him. And I have noted everything down because it could be long. No kidding, I'll keep it short. Bilal is a media guy, and he started, the founder of Live Production, a media house that he started 10 years back from a very small room in a dungeon like factory, having no employees, just himself. And now, Live Production is one of the leading media houses in the whole of Northeast, and not just India. It's also leading in the Middle East by the name X-Jot.
X-Jot.
X-Jot, yes. And here we have him. So, Bilal, you've also been featured in a lot of news media outlets, right?
Right.
And most recently also in New York Times Square.
Right.
How was that feeling, Bilal?
At first, when I received the news and the picture of my billboard there,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I thought it is a scam or something.
Yeah.
and then I was looking at it, and it took some time for me to believe that okay, I am actually there and I could see myself. So it was a very nice feeling, and I think sometimes it's good to see your efforts being rewarded like this.
Isn't it always? Isn't it? But your efforts, Bilal, the kind of efforts. So Bilal is a really old friend, like I've mentioned, and I've known your starting days.
Right.
But looking back at those days, your starting days, how would you describe them?
I think it was a roller coaster type of journey, where it started when I was in school,
Okay.
and it was nothing extraordinary. Where you just need extra bucks for things that you need to buy,
Yeah.
and you can't ask your dad for it. You know, coming from a very strict family, you only rely on your pocket money.
Yeah.
And then from there, I thought, okay, let's start something of my own. And then I used to call you as well for chai and coffee.
Yeah.
And then we used to discuss silly business ideas.
Yeah.
And it all started from school. The idea popped in, let's do something with media, let's do something with advertisement and all of these. And then that is where it popped in.
So why exactly media or advertisement? Because you were a commerce guy, right? And
Yeah.
you loved science. I remember you were the head of your science club.
Yeah.
So why suddenly media? Does it align with your personality? What was the story behind?
I think we need some time to realize what we want in life. Yeah. By the time I finished off my school, I realized that connecting with people is something that fulfills, that feeds my soul. So, and marketing, I think it's something which does the same. So, making such ads and communicating with so many people. So that ignited the passion in me. And then I think that is when I realized that this is something which I need to follow. Yeah.
Would you say that you got the results of the efforts you put in the very beginning?
No, in the beginning it was haphazard, and I was since class when I was in standard 11. It was I was with my dad. I was very young, but I was still working with my dad. He got me into business. He showed me how things work. I used to go to different cities to sell his products. But then I thought that okay, this is now done and dusted. I need to start something on my own. But I got some resistance at first with my family because I had a good export business set up at my place. But then I started with this production with my partner, Mr. Khakan. And I'll tell you a very nice story.
Yeah.
When I started, I did not know what digital marketing is all about.
Really?
Yeah.
So the guy who's running a multi-million business of digital marketing had no clue what digital marketing is.
No. And I was in college and we were having some fest. So
Okay.
I made some videos for one of the sponsors, and the sponsors liked the video a lot. So they were like, this video is very nice, who made it? And they came hunting for me.
Yeah.
The sponsor came down my home and called me, and I was afraid, why is he calling me? And something might have happened, and this is related to college and whatnot. And then the person said, this video is very nice, and since you made it for college, I want you to make it for me directly. How much would you charge? And I was like, I will get money for it.
That's
Oh my God. So I called him Kakan Bhai. I called him Bhai. Bhai means brother. So I called him and said, this is the person who came down my home, and he's giving us money for it. So what do you think? He said, okay, let's do it. Then I charged him something, and he said, okay, come tomorrow for the shoot. The next day we rented some equipments because we didn't had any, and then we reached the place. And once we were about to start the shoot, we did not know how to use that equipment. We silently opened up YouTube and we wrote how to use gimbal, how to use this camera. And Mr. Khakan was reading the instructions, watching the video, and he was telling me, put this, put that. And that is how we assembled our first camera for the shoot. I was holding the camera, Kakan Bhai was doing the direction, and we shot the video, and we went back, we did the editing ourselves, and we delivered the video the next day. And the client absolutely loved it.
No way.
And again, he gave us the project, this time with more money. And then the third time when he came to us, he said, you did good job, and would you like to do digital marketing for us? And we did not know what digital
But
marketing
you
was
would have
about.
said yes.
But we said yes.
Yeah.
And then again we went to Google and asked how to do digital marketing. And that is how our journey started, where we did not say no to business. We did not say no to opportunities. It was nothing, nothing that anybody can't do. It was very normal for anybody. We just said yes, and we said we'll figure it out later. And then we searched on Google. We came to know how digital marketing works. I ran back to my college. I told my classmates that, hey, I'm starting a business. Would you want to do internship with me? They said yes.
Perfect.
And then I hired one graphic designer. I hired one content writer. I hired one video editor. All were my classmates, and they helped me start this business.
So this guy, ladies and gentlemen, started his entire business on nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. No prior experience, no knowledge,
No investment.
no one to guide, no investment.
Yeah.
And yet you're leading this industry today.
Right.
Incredible. Incredible. I remember your first office. I think there were sewage lines next to it,
Yep.
next to the factory.
We still have that.
It would stink going inside. And initially, I really thought that why would any customer come here?
Yeah.
That's how you started.
Right.
And then soon you had some other offices, right?
So we started working. We were doing trial and error. We started learning, and COVID hit,
Oh, yes. How did COVID impact you?
and we got wiped off of all our savings.
Okay.
And there were people who were firing their employees left, right, and center.
Of course.
And the only thing that we did was we did not fire anybody. And
Wait, hold on. You're trying to tell me that during COVID, when you have no savings, and yet you fired no one from your.
No,
How many employees did you have then?
I had around 15 employees then.
You had 15 employees.
Right,
Without any savings.
right.
And
So
you didn't fire anyone. Okay, please tell me more.
I think the whole of my savings went in. They were drained in 6 months by
Okay.
paying the salaries without business, and the rest of the times I took loan from my family, from my grandmother, and from my mom, dad, and then I used to pay off the salaries. I did not lay off anybody. I did not decrease their salaries. I paid them full without any work.
What made you decide that?
I think when the COVID hit, the first thing that we did was, as soon as the restrictions were lowered, the restrictions were relaxed. Me and my partner, Mr. Khakan, we both went to each of the employees' homes, and when we saw their faces and we saw the conditions they are in, we thought that it would not be kind enough, or it would not be good enough to take this drastic step. We as
What
businessmen,
drastic step?
removing them or firing them or not paying them, keeping them on leave without pay or something like that. But we did not take that step. Had we not visited their homes, we would have not
The
realized.
home of your employees?
Yes, we visited each and every one homes because we thought they might need something. And since we are privileged enough, so let's take this step and let's see if there is any need. So we went to each and every employee's homes, and we saw somebody had ailing parents, somebody had rents to pay, somebody had the sister whose marriage was about to happen. So each and every one, they had some obligations they wanted to fulfill, and they were looking upon to us that, okay, if the salary comes, then only they might be able to fulfill that obligation. So I think we realized that God has given us this opportunity as being the business owners or the bosses. We have some responsibility towards the people who are working for us and taking us where we are today. So I think we should also take them together. So that was the spirit where we just arranged for funds time and again, and we kept on paying till the things were relaxed, and we got rewarded for that. And it was not an award, but we once everything got wiped off, we got we started to get good contracts from big businesses. We started working with small brands, restaurants, hotels,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, God knows how, but we started getting corporates,
Yeah.
and the revenues, they shot up during COVID. At the end of COVID, even when the restrictions were there, we started getting good contracts, and we moved out from the factory space to a very big space. It's a duplex office where there were 2 floors within the office, and we had 30 employees
Wow.
by the end of COVID.
So in the beginning, you had 15 employees
Yeah.
whose salaries you were paying from your savings and
Right.
from loans. And by the end of the COVID season, you had 30 employees, a brand new office, and a lot of deals in your hand.
Exactly, yes.
I think we need to study more of your strategies.
I think it's persistence. Yeah, consistency is the key, where we did not give up. Where we found that others were giving up,
Mhm.
and others, they thought, okay, what else do we have now? What could we do? We thought that we'll see what happens next. But right now, we should live the moment, and we should not give up. So we kept on digging, and we found the treasure. We found the gold.
I would want to dig a little deeper.
Mhm.
Usually, this phase never give up. I've heard it so many times that now it's lost its value. It's so generic.
Right.
So you're saying you never gave up, but what does it actually meant for you?
I think before I explain the meaning of it, it costed a lot. It costed times when we would have gone for partying, times where we would have done a lot of other things. But once we saw that, okay, there is a place where the doors are closed now, and we kept on knocking each and every door, and when we saw the other door opening, it was much better than before. So every time when we saw that we are about to give up, and we did not, and we got the results were so good that it fueled us to not give up the next time.
Wow.
So I think this particular mantra is something which should be followed, not just by Instagram quotes or the Google quotes that never give up, the quotes that you find in every office, never give up. But I think once you don't give up, you can try it for yourself. Once you think, okay, this is something that you're about to lose.
Yeah, it's going to break you completely.
Yes, and then you don't give up, and the result that you're going to get back from that, it's going to be amazing.
Something that blows your mind.
Yes, you won't even imagine that.
That's epic.
Hmm.
That's epic. So you mentioned, so I know this about you, that you have Xshot, that's a media company like Live Productions, but in Dubai.
Right.
And you are an Indian.
Mhm.
So Dubai was a foreign country.
Right.
New laws. I think they speak Arabic there, right?
Right.
So new laws, new language, everything new. How did you manage to build an empire there?
So for the first year, we were still figuring out how do we understand the language, how do we speak with the people, how do we even explain the reports to the clients. So we had some Arabic clients, and we lost them initially just because we were not able to explain the work we are doing. So yes, it was a hell of a task. We started hiring people who knew Arabic, and then we made sure that they are also speaking English, and we communicated with them, they communicated with the clients, and we figured out a way, working over the months, to find the solution for it.
So you just jumped into a new market.
Mhm.
Did you do like a research work, or what was your thought process, Bilal, when you are in India, everything's going fine here? What made you be like, no, let's try Middle East, let's try Dubai?
I think the fire inside me was enough to capture the
The Middle East market.
yeah, the Indian market, and I thought that let's go and put the Middle East market on fire. And it's also because of the opportunities there. It's also about since you are in India, and once you have spent so many years here, you have reached a place, a threshold, where no matter what you do or you cannot add more to it. So and then it's time then when you move out to the new market, and then you explore, you see, you face the challenges, and again that feeds your soul. The challenges, the the losses that you face, the hardships that you get, and all of that. So I think that is something which that was my motivating factor, and that is how I moved to UAE.
So, as I get it right, the barriers, the challenges, the losses
Right.
are the things that fuel your fire to keep going.
Exactly. Yes.
Wow, it's been such a ball talking to this man. Uh, well, I would like to tell you a little more about a company called Campus Ready. It's a similar company like yours, and the founders, you would really like them. They also went into a new market. They've started in Germany. There are two of the founders are Indians, and one of them is Turkish. And a completely new company starting in Germany. They've got some funding from the government as well because they were so brilliant. And the whole model is based on AI-powered feedback-based learning for students, which is one of the most affordable platforms right now out there with super young entrepreneurs fueled by the same fire that you see in Bilal Azam. So do go check out Campus Ready. I will drop the link there. If you're a student looking for a cheap and affordable way to improve your studies, be it preparing for your presentation, for your oral exams, for your written exams, you can upload your content into this particular platform and they will generate you video, audio content, as well as kind of examinations, text examination that you can take. So check out that link. Moving forward, Bilal.
UAE.
So, this all sounds so fancy. Like you have an office in Dubai, now you're looking to go into UK, But could you tell me, if someone who still has a 9 to 5 job, but I am really passionate of starting something on my own, where do I begin? And do I even have a chance to start something of my own?
Of course you do, because I mentioned how I started, but if you realize that I said I started when I was in college. My journey started when I was in first year of my college. So the business that I created and the kind of business I am doing right now, it all happened when I was studying in the college. And during my second year, I also enrolled in another college for another diploma degree. So by the morning, I was going to the college for 9 to 2. Then
9 to 2 o'clock, you had your classes.
yes,
in
my
college.
classes, and then from 2:30 till 5 I was
In the other college.
I was in my office,
Okay.
and from 5 to 7 I was in other college.
So from 2:30 to 5, how many hours is that?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours you
Right.
had time for your own business.
Right.
And then you also had probably your studies to do at home,
Right.
helping your parents and things like that.
Yes.
So give me some practical ways on how to start this. What made you, because you must be tired, right? Doing so many things at one time. What kept you going? And how would you say that this is one key reason why I became successful?
As I said, consistency is the key.
Okay.
And I think it's not very difficult, because 2.5 hours is something that if you do a very focused
Work. Like
if you are focused on your work and you put that 2.5 hours truly on that work, you can make a good business.
So Bilal, you've mentioned that you're planning to go to UK. Other than that, you have your offices in India and the Middle East, right? But like cutting all of those fluff, like me as a 9 to 5 worker, a 9 to 6 worker, do I have a shot?
Even if you're getting an hour of time and you are putting that hour in building the business, where you are only thinking what you must be selling, the service or the product, even if you're putting your head in that, you are ahead of people who are still procrastinating. Right?
Even with 1 hour,
Just
I'm
1
still
hour.
ahead of people who are still procrastinating.
Right.
That is deep.
Yes. So if say for example you started 1 hour, you thought, okay, this is the t-shirt that I'm going to sell. Then you realize the next day you started working on the kind of designs that you're going to print on the t-shirts. And the third day you are going to think, okay, Instagram is the medium, or maybe I'm going to build a website. And each and every day you will realize that after 10, 15, 20 days or a month, you have a product ready with you. And the next moment you only need to get it into the market. So I think if you are passionate about doing business, there is no criteria that you should be out of the college or you should be free for 24 hours. Even if you have an hour of the day and you are honest with yourself and you are putting that into the business, I think you can do wonders with your business. Sky is the limit.
That was profound. But as you were saying, I noticed one thing. You also did another course.
Right.
You mentioned multimedia, and then
Right.
your business, your industry is based on multimedia. So would you say that you recognized a gap in your education or in your skill sets, and you went and you filled that gap?
Exactly so. Yes. I thought that if I am into this business, it's now the time that I should learn it professionally, and I should not rely on Google and search for when the client is asking me and I'm searching it for on Google for it. So I don't think that is the right thing to do when I am scaling my business. So that is then I realized that I should be doing courses on the business that I am working on.
Wow. So you did not really just rely on experiences, but you
Right.
also went out there and got the right education needed.
Right.
That is actually quite good. That's actually quite good. So Bilal, you're the media guy, right?
Right.
And you started with photographing and taking shoots for that, and then slowly you went to advertisements. So I think your business offers a lot of services in the beginning, right?
Right.
So how do you see yourself going from there?
I think there was a point where we were jack of all and master of none.
Jack of all trades, master of none, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think when we were juggling with different services, we had clients for each and every one of them, but we were not able to satisfy the client needs. And there was a time where it all went stagnant.
Why? What was the biggest reason?
I think the biggest reason was we did not focus on one particular niche. And we were delivering so we were doing wedding photography, we were doing content creation, we were doing ads, we were doing graphic designing, we were doing apps, website. We were doing, and we were very proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we used to tell the client, okay, we are doing all of these things, client used to say no. And we were not able to figure out why they were saying no, because we are providing everything.
Right.
But then we realized that we are providing everything. That was the problem.
Wow, that's a very big lesson.
Yes.
So not having a niche is the reason why you were getting rejected.
Exactly. So then we started brainstorming. Every time there was a failure, we sat down calmly. We did not lose our mind, and we figured out, okay, what are the things that worked in the past, and what are the things that should work now, and what are the mistakes that we are doing. And then we realized that we were doing literally everything. So we started focusing on few services where we started focusing on content creation, where we clubbed it with graphic designing and motion videos, and we focused on paid advertising.
Okay.
And as soon as we did that, again, the new door opened and we got partnered with Meta officially.
Meta, as
Yes.
in Facebook.
Yes,
You got partnered with Meta.
right.
No way. Please tell us the story.
So as soon as we focused on one particular service,
Yeah.
we started getting clients for that. And our spendings on ads exceeded the targets that were given by Meta. And then we got a mail that, okay, we would like to have you as partners.
Yeah.
And one of the clients that we're working for, Meta, sent a team to Chennai to do a video with them. And I was the one through whom the project happened.
got
Yes.
Executed.
Yeah. And then I backed the client as well. And then I got called to Meta Gurgaon office, where I met Meta executive. I saw the office. It was like a dream come true. Yeah. So it all comes down where you have a very sorted plan and sorted mind, and you focus on one thing. And again, do not.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bilal Azam, the man who started with absolutely nothing, no investment, no education, no prior experience in the field he is, only that habit of not giving up and that fiery, crazy passion that brought him from there to here. Thank you, Bilal, so much for being here, and a huge round of applause for you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Executives Diary. I will see you in the next episode with a new guest, and that's all from my side. This is your host, Sarah Kamal. Stay shining. Bye.